Karine Jean-Pierre slips up, accidentally suggests Bragg coordinated with DOJ for anti-Trump case. Well, we know that's the case. She had a Freudian slip, though. She wasn't supposed to let the cat out the bag. We already know that the DOJ coordinated this whole thing. Took something that should have been a misdemeanor and turned it into a felony, and took that one misdemeanor for mislabeling a fee, because he had to pay back the attorney, and he paid back the attorney 30-something times, and those are each time he put that money into that account, that's how they ended up with 30-something charges. It is the diabolical what they did to Trump, and if they did it to him, they definitely could do it to you. We see these corrupt George Soros DAs allowing criminals out on the street, but then going after law-abiding citizens. This is par for the course for the Democrat Party. So we're gonna talk a little bit about this. We're gonna show the clip of Karine Jean-Pierre's Freudian slip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. All right, so let's talk about this news. This comes from Slade News' Nick R. Hamilton. And he reports that White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre appeared to slip up while answering questions from reporters, and accidentally suggested that the Department of Justice coordinated with Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg on his case against President Donald Trump. However, Democrat President Joe Biden's press secretary apparently realized the mistake, and she immediately walked it back. In an apparent slip, Karine Jean-Pierre said that Bragg's hush money trial was tied to the Biden DOJ's timeline. Like, how do you accidentally slip up and say that? That has to be true. The remark caused quite a stir. At a press briefing, Jean-Pierre was asked whether she considers Bragg prosecution a threat to democracy. Fox Business reporter Edward Lawrence noted Biden's constant warnings about alleged threats to democracy on the campaign trail. Lawrence then observed that Bragg, one of Biden's fellow Democrats, waited until an election year to pursue a case against Biden's chief opponent. So I'm just gonna, this is the quote here. I'm just gonna go ahead and play the clip here. All right, here we go. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Oops, sorry, I'm not hearing anything. Let me rewind it here and play this again. Here we go.
The president talks about threats to democracy, and this is the first time I've had a chance to ask a question since former President Trump was convicted. How is it not a threat to democracy when you have a prosecutor from the same party as the president waiting 7 years to prosecute the political opponent in an election year?
I'm sorry, I don't.
How is it not a threat to democracy when you have a prosecutor of the same political party as the president waiting 7 years, the crime happened in 2017, to prosecute in an election year a former president who's now
That's a question for the Department of Justice on their timeline and how this moves. I can't answer that for you here.
Wow. So she admitted it. She admitted it that they're on a timeline, their timeline, and again, Freudian slip. But as evidence of coordination, President Trump and his defenders have cited the fact that Biden's third highest ranking DOJ official, Matthew Colangelo, left the department to work on Bragg's case. In his sparse comments about the verdict, Biden has stressed that the case was brought by a state prosecutor. However, Biden has begun to aggressively exploit the verdict. Biden has rolled out a $50 million attack ad painting Trump as a convicted felon ahead of the first debate on June 27th. At first, Biden tiptoed around the issue of Trump's conviction. However, his campaign decided to change course after looking at internal polling data that suggests the conviction would damage Trump, Politico reported. Ironically, the Democrat president launched his attack line just days before son Hunter Biden was convicted of federal gun charges. While Democrats strenuously insist Trump's trial was impartial, we know it wasn't. A recent poll found that the vast majority of Americans think Bragg pursued the case for political reasons. Of course he did. Why do you think he waited till election season? Democrats are liable to squeeze the verdict for all it's worth. The 3 other Trump prosecutors are now unlikely to proceed to trial before the election. So that's why they're gonna keep pointing to this verdict here. But let me know what y'all think about this. Do you think it was a Freudian slip? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.